What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Well, guys, I was going to do a video about this article here on Zero Hedge, a list of 33 things we know about the coming food shortages. And I read through the article, I highlighted some things, and I said I better go look to see if Alaska Prepper has already covered this, because he loves articles from Zero Hedge. And I went to his channel, looked at his videos, and sure enough, there it was. He's already published a video about this article. The guy is a ball of energy. He can put out more videos, it seems like, in a day than I can put out in a week. I'm going to talk to him and see what his secret is, and see how he has so much energy to put these videos out there. And his videos are great, and he does it. Just put a video together and put it up. He does a video and he actually does editing to that video, which takes even more time. How in the world do you have the time to do so many videos, Alaska Prepper? I'm amazed. I'm impressed. Let me know in the comments below, or send me an email or something. Let me know your secret for putting out so many videos so quickly, and they're all high quality videos. Well, anyway, I did a little more research and looking around, tried to find something else that would be important to look at, and I came up with this article here, if I can get it to pop up, from Activist Post. This 2020 food shortage simulation predicted 400% increase in food prices by 2030. And you notice the dates here, 2020, 2030. That sound familiar to you guys? It does to me. That's the globalist plan for world domination, the Great Reset. And you probably noticed that every time that anything happens, they've already had to exercise a simulation, war gamed, that months or even years before it actually happens. They get these experts together, experts in media, psychological operations, finances, and everything. They get these people together and they simulate an event under the pretext of they're doing this so they can have answers ready in case it actually does ever happen. But isn't it strange that every time they do these simulations, that within months or sometimes even years it actually happens? Could be a coincidence, or could it be that they're actually wargaming these things to get ready to implement and cause the actual thing to happen after wargaming? But anyways, let's take a look at this article and see what they have to say here. Editor's note, given current events, rereading this article from October 2020 is timely. Also, it's interesting and unfortunate to note that these things are all beginning right on the schedule laid out time. And like I said, it's right on time. They do the simulations, then it happens on the exact dates, the exact times, exactly how they lay everything out. Coincidence? Maybe, but I don't think so. Back in 2015, 65 people showed up at the World Wildlife Fund's headquarters in Washington, D.C. These individuals were international policymakers, corporate businessmen, academics, and leaders in thought. Their goal, to run a simulation of a world food crisis that will begin in 2020 and run to 2030. 2020 to 2030. Sounds familiar, doesn't it, guys? Those time frames sound very, very familiar. The Great Reset, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2020. It's all part of the plan, guys. All part of the plan's been laid out already. They've already war gamed it. Everything we see going on now, nothing's random. It's all planned. It's all orchestrated events to bring in this globalist agenda. The press release of the event was published on the big AG Corporation Cargill website and revealed that the food shortage simulation that decade began 2020 and 2030 will see two major food crises during this time. Prices would rise 400% of the long-term average. There will be a number of climate-related weather events, like drought, for example. How do they know? Governments will be toppled in Ukraine and Pakistan. How do they know? And famine would force refugees from Myanmar, Chad, Sudan, and Bangladesh. How did they know? Playing out exactly as the simulation had predicted. It's amazing to be that accurate, isn't it, guys? Does any of this sound familiar? Yes, it does. In the simulation, one government solution was a tax on meat. Yep, that's coming too, guys. Another, a global carbon tax. It's all because of cow farts and carbon. A meat tax, a carbon tax. Seriously, this has to sound familiar by now. Yeah, it's all part of the plan, like I said, guys. We've learned that a carbon tax is a possibility in years ahead at Knowledge Stone. That's one of the guys that was doing the simulation. Keep in mind this press release and exercise took place in 2015. It's almost as if they were reading the script for 2020 into 2030. And it is, like I said. They do these war games, these simulations. Sometimes it's years beforehand, sometimes it's just months beforehand. They do these, they lay things out, they get everything ready. And what they're doing is they are actually pre-planning, in my humble opinion. There's a clear agenda. The fact is, we know there is an agenda for all of this. Food shortages, meat tax, global carbon tax, and if COVID has been anything, it has been the most helpful little virus to ever exist. That is, as long as you're a member of the globalist overlords. And that is exactly true, guys. They used the pandemic, to start all this off, to bring all this into fruition. And it's all part of their plan. We're seeing that now. You can read their playbook. You can know precisely what's going to happen and precisely when it's going to happen and how it's going to turn out, most likely. Of course, there's always things that aren't foreseen that could affect their plans. But overall, when they make a plan, they do simulations of that plan, saying it's for the greater good. That's always for, and the greater good is to help you and I. It's to protect you and I. It's to protect the world. They're doing these things just to see how things might turn out, so they can figure out how to stop it if it does happen. But they always play out exactly how these simulations envision the scenarios to play out. Anyways, guys, if you haven't signed up for my email newsletter, go to the link in the description box below or to my website at creekmore.com and sign up for that. It's free. Every Friday, I send out an email of 10 things I think are worth sharing that week. It's interesting. I think good responses in that, in the comments and things to the newsletter, and there's an online version and an email newsletter version. But sign up for the newsletter, that way you don't miss anything. Then when I publish that, you get an email notification that you know that that's been published. You can actually read that whole report, the whole newsletter, directly in your email inbox that I haven't even go out to an external website. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Do you think this is all planned out, pre-planned, or just random events? Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thanks for watching. I'm the Creekmore, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.